Caitanya
The following is a class given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on June 22nd, 1981 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Part 2.
That in each village there should be one Namhat center or more, and they should meet together in the morning and chant Hare Krishna, in the evening, if not every day, at least once in a week. And the members should read from Srila Prabhupada books. So this way, Lord Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Namhat, he described that he had so many these Namhat ashramas or groups, and over a number of groups that was considered, a grouping was considered of so many groups that was considered a circle. So over one circle of groups there was a Senapati or commander, and then over so many circles there was a district commander. Then over so many districts there was in one state there was a state commander, and over this whole thing he had a chief commander, Senapati. The Chakra Senapati, Jela Senapati, Pradesh Senapati, and Mukha Senapati. Different type of commanders or generals. And they were, in this way he was supervising this whole organization. He took the position as the sweeper. His duty is simply to sweep and keep everything clean from all the mayas that accumulate, all the dirt that come. He has to just keep sweeping, keep it clean, all the asampradaya. So over that whole Namhat, he had a 10-man committee of different Senapatis and devotees, commanders, and they would meet together occasionally, and that was called a panchayat or governing body. And they'd meet together, and he described in his founding charter that whatever they decide should be considered as not different from Nityananda's will. You see, as the order of Nityananda. In this way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had established his organization, but he predicted that in the future a great soul will come and organize worldwide the movement of Lord Chaitanya. He predicted. And there will be a worldwide organization which will be spreading the Vani of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and established by one particular devotee. You see, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur's son and grand disciple Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he also preached, and he instructed his disciples to cooperate together, trying to re-establish that original mood that was present when Lord Chaitanya's movement was there. And so he said, work together cooperatively, make a governing board. But they didn't follow his instruction. Instead they fought, and then they artificially appointed one person to be the overall acharya, even though Bhakti Siddhanta never wanted that. He wanted that there should be, you see, a cooperative spirit, not just that one person would independently work. And so in this way, the whole mission of, today is still fighting in the courts after 40 years. You see, even the head of court appointed one guru by court order. The Prabhupada is saying, how can a court appoint guru? Guru is appointed by guru, by previous acharya, by Krishna, not by court. You can't order of Supreme Court, you are guru. How is that? The Supreme Court is a materialistic thing. It can only be appointed by one's previous acharya. You see, and by the mercy of Krishna, not by some materialistic function. So these things are all there in our Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada described how so many difficulties came up, and how he tried humbly to carry out the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through his spiritual master Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So Srila Prabhupada, he established a movement all over the world, and we can see that he's the fulfillment of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prediction. You see. And of course, Srila Prabhupada tried to establish a worldwide, he did establish a worldwide movement of Krishna consciousness, and he always wanted that everyone should cooperate with each other, there should be a mood of love and trust throughout the society. But sometimes he complained that at least in the presence of Bhaktisiddhanta there was no disagreement, but sometimes my disciples, they're disagreeing even in my presence. This is very bad. So he formed governing body and said, you try to cooperate together. Each of you have different responsibilities and areas, but you should come together once a year and review how you are progressing, how everything is going, the purity of Krishna consciousness maintained worldwide. And this way, try to cooperate together. The proof of how you love me is how much you will cooperate in my absence, how much you work together in my absence. You see. At one point he said, if anyone leaves Krishna conscious movement or thinks independently he can go on without any of the God brothers or any of the other, that he's hallucinating. You see. And some people, of course, did leave. Many of Prabhupada's disciples left. He predicted that when I leave, so many will go who are not sincere, who are not actually devoted to me. They're simply sentimentally attached to me, but they don't have the pure, deep devotion. So, in this way, our Krishna conscious movement, we can see how it is representing the branch of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How although there are today different spiritual masters and different disciples, how cooperatively as one world movement, everyone is working together. Sometimes if there's any, you see, amongst God brothers, of course, there's different relationship. I remember that although this type of relationship was there where Prabhupada was establishing Krishna consciousness worldwide, sometimes his God brothers who are not following Bhaktisiddhanta at the exact same standard, at least from some, you see, but he would sometimes protect us by saying that you should know not to do these things. You see. But then if we were to go and say that, well, yes, your God brothers are not very good or something like that, Prabhupada would smash us and say, you never criticize my God brother, they're my God brother. Just like Subal, Gauridas Pandit had a relationship with Lord Chaitanya, his friend. But you see, that was a unique thing. So God brothers, even spiritual master and his God brothers, they are friends. They have that brotherly relationship. But disciple always looks to the spiritual master as Krishna, representative, as like a spiritual father. And so amongst fathers, amongst the father and his brothers, there may be so many relationships, but the spiritual master may advise one how to act for one's own benefit. But the son never criticizes the brothers of the father. That is very dangerous. So Prabhupada, he would smash us if we would just, because the mood would be there, he'd be saying this and that, beware, watch out, they're fighting in the courts, they're doing this, they're doing that, how this is, we say, oh, they're not good or something like that. Then he would say, never, they're my God brothers, they're not your God brothers, you cannot say anything against them. I'm saying this simply for your education. You just listen, you don't say anything. You see. So, he said, they're also trying to serve their spiritual master, they're just made a few mistakes, but they're also sincere, they're trying to do. You see. You cannot criticize. And this I'm telling you for your, so you don't do the same mistakes amongst yourselves. You don't fight amongst yourselves and have these mistakes. You cooperate together. That's why I'm telling you. So, this will be most pleasing to Lord Chaitanya if we can maintain, as we are today, this very friendly and cooperative spirit that was there amongst Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivasacharya, Shyamananda Pandit. Now as we travel all over the world, we see that how here in Malaysia the preaching is going, how it's going on in the Philippines, in America, in Mexico, in Latin America, in Europe, in Africa, everywhere throughout the world. In Australia, preaching is expanding, devotees are being made, books are being distributed. Krishna conscious movement is growing day by day because everyone is part of this one world movement that is fulfilling the desires of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta, Lord Chaitanya. We have to please the desires of our previous acharyas. That is a secret for success. We have to please our own spiritual master and also the previous spiritual masters and the Vaishnavas. This is the more that we can please Krishna and his devotees, and the more we can satisfy all the desires of previous acharyas, the more that our mission will be successful.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna